sports. It's in the game.
Somebody stop me. Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
Look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry, what I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? In reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in them breathing heavy. Little am I looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Gummy, back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Pop up. You need a, in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me, I live in you. Both of our fire offend you.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Packers sitting at 2-2-1. Aaron Rodgers bringing out the offense here for the first possession. Let's look at last week, Charles. A loss against Detroit, in Detroit. Despite picking up 521 offensive yards to the Lions' 264, the Packers could not get it done.
And Aaron Rodgers threw for 442 of those yards, 3 touchdowns, so it looks fantastic. And he did it despite the fact he didn't have his dependable receivers Randall Cobb and Geronimo Allison. Devontae Adams had a big day, but also Aaron Rodgers harassed in the pocket. 2 of the 3.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
319!
A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Pittsburgh Steelers working their way back out here on offense. Last week, a much-needed win for Steeler Nation. Now they're at 2-2-1, so we'll see what the future holds. But, you know, things have not been, shall we say, harmonious so far in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think that the harmony started to get recreated in the win against Atlanta. Antonio Brown had a big day, finally getting to the end zone with a touchdown catch. He and Big Ben Roethlisberger back on the so-called same page, singing from the same hymnal, shall we say. And that team really played well, but the flip side of it is their defense had been giving up a lot of points. They held the high-flying Atlanta Falcons to 17. That bodes well for the future, too.
And the Wi-Fi wasn't so spotty in that game. It was pretty good reception. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, Charles, Le'Veon Bell, 26 going on 27, and the shelf life of these NFL running backs seems to be getting shorter and shorter. How long can he go at this torrid pace?
Usually we say 30 is kind of the line of demarcation for a running back. But Le'Veon Bell played all 16 games in 2017, takes great care of himself off the field. I think he's got a chance to break through that 30-year-old mark, and in a big way.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. I haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I want to know why I didn't get the football.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw. Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
258.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
That's fine. Yeah.
And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Montgomery back to the ground. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A little break here after the incompletion. Let's give the kickers from Week 5 some love. We had 4 game-winning kicks. Greg Joseph of the Browns, they beat the Ravens. Stephen Hauschka, the Bills, over the Titans. Fairbairn and OT against the Cowboys. And the best of the best, the game that you did, Charles, Graham Gano. How about that 63-yarder for the win?
Yeah, and it might have been good up to 70. But let's go back to Fairbairn in overtime against the Cowboys. You didn't want to do his first name? You didn't want to say
Kaimi.
There you go. I kind of figured you knew it. But how about Mason Crosby, though, Green Bay? No one could have had a worse day. Had to have been the worst day of his 12-year career. Missed 4 field goals and an extra point before making a meaningless field goal at the end of the ball game. That's something Green Bay's going to have to make sure they get corrected. I count on Mason Crosby to get that done. But last but not least, real quick.
Yeah,
that kick Greg Joseph.
That was a Phil Necro knuckleball.
Should it have even counted?
Yeah, it should have counted. And the Browns, I feel like they deserve that after some of the tough luck they've had.
Good point.
Now a first down carry by Bell. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Set. 3-19. 3-19. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Over.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. The Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Rodgers now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cobb. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that, but for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Sheds off the tackle. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got a man. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
The give is to Bell, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll go again with Bell. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw to the right side and complete to Washington. And he gets it down to the 32. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, Some good news, partner. We will not have a scoreless tie as we finally get our first points of the contest here in quarter 3.
Yeah, just a field goal, but with the way those defenses ruled in the first half, that could be a big three-point play right there, couldn't it?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On first down, Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. Allow me to sidestep for a second after that incompletion, CD. Let's talk about the rookie quarterbacks, because just last week we were talking about them going 0-4. But this past weekend, 4-0 for the rookie QBs.
Remember that seesaw we used to jump on when we were kids? You're up,
you're down.
Well, this week, they are way up. Sam Darnold and the Jets take out the Broncos. Baker Mayfield and his Browns in overtime. The fierce Ravens pass rush is foiled. And how about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking the measure of the Tennessee Titans, who are off to a 3-1 start? And Josh Rosen, his second start in the NFL, he takes out the 49ers with help from his Cardinals teammates. That's the first time in the Super Bowl era that we've had rookie quarterbacks go 4-0 on a weekend. And somewhere in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's wanting to know when he's going to get his opportunity.
This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
That's fine. Yeah.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Crosby puts it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
And now out come the Steelers. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Again, it's Bell. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Over! Gun!
Looking to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. And he finds McDonald. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Over. Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And it's a heartache. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. That close to taking a 4th quarter lead, but the goalposts, they had other plans.
I thought it was on target. It looked good off his foot, but then doink, off the metal and out. And those are the kind of breaks that can definitely swing a ball game.
To throw is Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Rodgers now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Adams. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Open man is Allison, complete. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. When you're trying to win a game in overtime, I don't know that there's too many more in the history of the game you want under center than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think a lot of it's because he can beat you so many different ways. All right? He can beat you with the big shot downfield. Heck, if you need a Hail Mary, no one throws it better than Aaron Rodgers. But just when you think you've got him corralled in, when you've got pressure on him, he uses his legs to escape and create another big play, whether he's running it or extending it so a receiver gets open. I think he embraces overtime, and he embraces the spotlight that comes with it.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Now Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Crosby puts it through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also...
And got his man complete. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing pound.